The sacred mirror of your soul, you stand at the threshold of your inner world, a quiet realm where whispers of truth echo in the silence. Your heart beats with a rhythm distinct from the world's clamor, a pulse that feels the unseen knows, the unspoken, and yearns for meaning beyond the ordinary. You are not like others, and you have always sensed this. Your stillness is not absence, it is a sanctuary. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it is a lens that unveils the hidden. Your depth is not a burden, it is a gift, a radiant thread woven into the tapestry of existence. In the wisdom of Carl Jung, you are the intuitive introvert, a soul attuned to the collective unconscious, a seeker of wholeness in a fragmented world. Your misunderstood traits, your quietude, your empathy, your profound vision are not flaws. They are superpowers, signs of a heart destined to awaken, to heal, to transform. Let us journey together, you and I, to honor your rare essence, to kindle the eternal flame within, and to embrace the sacred purpose that calls you to shine. The silent song of your being, you have always felt the world differently. Its beauty moves you, a sunset's fleeting glow, a stranger's fleeting smile, the quiet hum of life beneath the noise. Its pain lingers in your soul, not as a wound, but as a call to understand. You see what others miss, the hope in a tired gaze, the sorrow behind a forced laugh, the dreams buried under routine. This is your gift, what Jung called intuition, a vision that pierces the veil of the visible, touching the eternal through the fleeting. Your soul is a bridge to the collective unconscious, the vast reservoir of archetypes and shared wisdom that binds humanity across time. You do not merely observe, you do not merely exist. You resonate with the pulse of the universe. Yet this gift carries a shadow. The world does not always honor your depth. Your silence is mistaken for aloofness, your sensitivity for fragility, your introspection for oddity. You have been told to speak louder, to feel less, to conform to a world that prizes noise over stillness, action over reflection. These judgments are not truths. They are the world's failure to see your light. Jung taught that every soul carries a shadow, the hidden realm of fears, pains, and desires suppressed to meet external expectations. Your shadow holds the ache of being unseen, the fear of being too much, the longing for a world that embraces your heart. But within this shadow lies your greatest strength, waiting to be reclaimed. Pause now, feel your breath, slow and steady. Sense the quiet rhythm of your heart. You are not alone. Across the earth, there are others like you, souls who feel the universe's heartbeat, who see its hidden beauty, who carry its pain as their own. You are part of a silent constellation, a lineage of intuitive hearts whose presence shifts the world even when unnoticed. Your wounds, your sensitivity, your stillness, they are not defects. They are the marks of a soul forged in the fire of deep knowing, destined to illuminate the unseen. The masks you wore to belong, to navigate a world that demands conformity. You crafted a persona, mask of compliance, strength, or serenity. Shield the tender heart within. Perhaps you became the listener, absorbing others' stories while hiding your own. Or the achiever, proving your worth through relentless effort. Or the quiet one, fading into the background to avoid scrutiny. This mask was your armor, a way to belong in a world that often rejects what it does not understand. Jung described the persona as a necessary bridge to society, but when it becomes your identity, it severs you from your soul. You excelled at wearing it, earning praise, meeting expectations, fitting in. But in the silence of your heart, you felt the cost to hollowness, a longing for something true. Imagine a river. Its waters meant to flow freely, yet forced into rigid channels. Your intuitive energy is this river, meant to move with grace and depth, yet constrained by the world's demands. You adopted the animus, the archetype of logic and control, to prove your strength. You became the problem solver, the one who needs no one, the one who pushes through. But in doing so, you drifted from your anima, the archetype of intuition, emotion, and connection that makes you whole. The world applauded your effort, but your soul whispered, "This is not you." This disconnection is the tragedy of the age. You are celebrated for what you do, not who you are. You achieve, you endure, you perform, yet the emptiness persists. Jung taught that the persona is not your essence. It is a temporary role, a costume you wear to navigate the world. Beneath it lies the self, the radiant center of your being, where light and shadow, strength and softness merge into wholeness. To find it, you must let the mask crack. Let the false self fall. Trust that what remains is enough. The crisis that calls you home there comes a moment when the mask becomes unbearable. You cannot smile when your heart is heavy. You cannot laugh at what feels false. Cannot silence your truth to keep the peace. This is the collapse of the persona, the false identity you built to survive. Jung taught that individuation, the journey to become your true self, often begins with a crisis. Betrayal, a loss, a morning when you wake and cannot find a reason to rise. Yet the roles you played, friend, lover, caretaker, feel hollow. The expectations you met, kindness, perfectional, their meaning. In this collapse, you do not fall apart. You fall into yourself. This crisis is not destruction. It is initiation. Jung wrote, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Your pain's those silent tears, those sleepless nights, those moments of emptiness is not your enemy, it is your teacher." Illusions. Revealing the truth beneath. It asks you to face your shadow, the fears of being unlovable, the anger you suppressed, the desires you denied. It calls you to listen to the voice within. It's the one that knows who you are beyond the roles you've played. Imagine a woman who lived for others, her family, her friends, her community. She was praised for her sacrifice, her gentleness, her reliability. Yet one morning alone at her table, she wept. Not for a specific loss, but for a hollowness she could no longer ignore. In that moment, she began to write, not to record, but to listen. She wrote of dreams she'd buried, of angers she'd silenced, of joys she'd postponed. Jung's words echoed in her mind. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. She realized her tears were not weakness. They were the first notes of a new song, a melody of rebirth. The alchemy of your pain is not your captor, it is your alchemist. Jung described the psyche's transformation as an alchemical process, turning the lead of suffering into the gold of wisdom. Your wounds, those silent aches of being unseen, misunderstood, or abandoned, have not broken you. They have opened you. They have stripped away illusions, teaching you to see truth where others see only surface. They have deepened your empathy, sharpened your intuition, gifted you a vision that pierces the ordinary to touch the eternal. Picture your pain as a fire, burning away what is false. It has revealed your strength, not in loud triumphs, but in quiet endurance. It has shown you the fragility of human connection, not to make you cynical, but to teach you discernment. It has carved space for wisdom, not through ease, but through struggle, Jung wrote. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Your pain is not fate. It is a call to awaken, to face the shadow and reclaim the light within. This alchemy is not complete. Until you embrace it, your pain asks you to release the persona that keeps you small, to step into the self that knows its worth. Each tear you've shed, each night you've spent in quiet reflection, each moment you've chosen to keep going, these are the ingredients of your transformation, the fire that forges your soul into gold. You are not your wounds, but your wounds have made you more you than anything else ever could. The sacred isolation of your soul, there comes a time when the world feels too loud, too heavy, too false. Friends drift away, their voices no longer resonating with yours. Crowds drain you, small talk suffocates. You feel invisible, detached, as if you no longer belong. This is not failure. It is sacred isolation, a phase Jung described as essential to individuation. You are not losing connection. You are losing resonance with what no longer aligns. You are being called inward to the sanctuary of your soul, where truth speaks in whispers. This isolation is not loneliness, it is aloneness, a sacred communion. With your essence, Jung wrote, the soul speaks in silence. When the noise of the world fades, you hear your inner voice, your dreams, your intuition, the quiet knowing that guides you. You reflect deeply, reading for wisdom, writing to understand, dreaming to discover. This solitude is not retreat. It is return. You are not escaping life. You are reclaiming it, stripped of pretense, ready to meet the self you were born to be yet. This phase is painful. You may grieve the loss of relationships, the comfort of belonging, the ease of fitting in. Others may say you've changed, and they are right. You are no longer the pleaser, the one who absorbs others' pain. Jung believed that true connection cannot survive on projection or codependency. When you stop playing old roles, some will. Pull away, unable to relate to the authentic you. Let them go with love. Their departure is not rejection. It is space for your growth. You are not abandoning them. You are choosing yourself. The mirror of the soul, awakening love's true essence here intuitive, holds a rare gift, the ability to see beyond the surface, to touch the soul of another. Jung taught that love, true, transformative love, begins not with effort, but with presence. You see another's shadow, their hidden fears, their buried dreams, their unspoken pain, and choose to stay without judgment. You become a mirror of their soul. You do not fix or save. You reflect their potential, their essence, their truth. This is the first key to deep connection. It's drawn from Jung's wisdom. Become the mirror of the soul. Imagine a man, his heart guarded, his persona polished to perfection. He speaks of success, but you hear the tremor of doubt beneath his words. Instead of praising his achievements, you ask, what dream do you carry that you've never shared? Your question is not a challenge, but an invitation, a call to his hero archetype, the part of him that longs to surpass himself. In this moment, you are not merely a companion. You are an awakener, stirring the latent essence within him. Your presence, grounded in depth and authenticity, it becomes a sacred space where he can confront his shadow and glimpse his self. This is love as a transformative act, a ritual of awakening. Yet this mirror reflects both ways. As you see his soul, you must also see your own. Jung's concept of individuation requires you to face your shadow, the fears of being unworthy, the habits of pleasing others, the longing to be loved at the cost of your truth. When you embrace your own darkness, you become a clearer mirror, reflecting not projection but truth. You do not love to be completed. You love to share your wholeness. This is the alchemy of love, where two souls meet, not to fill voids, but to illuminate each other's light, the paradox of presence, the sacred distance love. Like your soul thrives in balance, not in constant closeness, but in the dance between presence and absence. Jung taught that the psyche craves what it cannot fully possess, a truth rooted in the anime, the inner feminine that stirs a man's longing for connection, mystery, and wholeness. To awaken deep love, you must embody the paradox of presence, the second key to transformation. By living a life vibrant and full, you create a sacred distance that invites another to seek you, not out of need, but out of wonder. Picture a man, drawn to you, not by your availability, but by the richness of your inner world. You are not always there, not because you play games, but because you honor your own journey. You paint, you write, you walk alone under the stars. You have passions, rituals, a sacred territory that belongs only to you. This independence is not rejection, it is radiance. Stirs the anima within him, making you a living symbol of the mystery he seeks. Jung wrote, "The anima is the archetype of life itself." When you live authentically, you embody this life, becoming a flame he cannot help but follow. In practice, this means resisting the urge to shrink yourself for love. Do not reply instantly to every message. Let your response come when your heart is ready. Do not sacrifice your dreams to be available. Say, "I need this evening for myself," and mean it. This is not aloofness, it is self-respect. Neuroscience supports this. Dopamine, the chemical of desire, surges when reward is uncertain. By living fully, you create a gentle absence that invites reflection, not pursuit. You become a world he longs to explore, not because you withhold, but because you are whole. Facing the shadow, the sacred wound, the deepest love is born in the darkest places. Jung taught that the shadow, the rejected, suppressed parts of the psyches, the ground where transformation begins. To awaken another's heart, you must create a space where their shadow can emerge without fear. This is the third key, facing the shadow. By sharing your own vulnerabilities not to manipulate, but to invite authenticity, you open a door for their hidden truths to surface. This is not about fixing, it is about witnessing. Imagine a moment. A man shares a failure, his voice heavy with shame. Instead of saying it's okay, you pause. Look at him with eyes that see his strength, not his flaw. You say that moment shaped you, and you're still here. What did it teach you? Your words are not comfort. They are a mirror, reflecting his resilience. When you share your own pain, perhaps a fear of being unworthy, you create a space where he feels safe to reveal his own. Jung called this the sacred wound, the place where pain, when witnessed, becomes the seed of healing. This act requires courage. You must face your own shadow, your fear of rejection, your doubt, your hidden anger before you can hold space for another's, Jung wrote. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. By embracing your own darkness, you become a beacon, guiding another to their own light. This is love as a sacred ritual, where two souls meet not to fill voids, but to illuminate truths, unconscious synchrony. The rhythm of two souls' true love manifests in a rhythm beyond words, a harmony where two souls align without effort. Jung called this a manifestation of the collective unconscious, where the archetype of the sacred couple, the eternal union of two halves, comes alive. This is the fourth key, unconscious synchrony. When you move, he follows naturally. You breathe deeply, his breath aligns with yours. When you need closeness, his touch responds before you speak. This is limbic resonance, a biological and spiritual alignment where two nervous systems declare, we are safe together. This synchrony cannot be faked. A man driven by desire acts with control, following a script to achieve a goal. His movements lack soul, leaving you feeling alone, even in closeness. But a man who loves you flows with you, like two rivers merging into one, Jung wrote. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances, if there is any. Reaction, both are transformed. In this harmony, the ego dissolves, and two souls become a single symphony. It's moving in rhythm with the eternal. You have felt this, perhaps, in a moment when his touch mirrored your need. When his gaze met yours without words, when your bodies moved, as one without planning. This is not chance. It is the collective unconscious speaking, a reminder that love is not possession, but reunion. You are not two halves seeking completion. You are two wholes, meeting to create something greater. Synchrony is the language of the soul, a proof of love that transcends reason and speaks in the quiet rhythm of being.